Welcome back to the Krabby Club podcast. I'm your host, Random Victory, and today we're going to be talking about future games. Now, I want to make a clarification. We're talking about anticipated future games and the future of games. Of course, I took that question two ways. Okay, because so far, I was looking at future anticipated games of 2020, and most of them have already come out. Surprise. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077. Don't know anything about it. I don't know what I can say about it. Just that it looks cool, but not into robotic implants, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. Last of Us Part 2. Part 1 was great, that I've heard. Also another game of course, Final Fantasy Remake already came out. Half-Life Alyx, I don't know if that's come out. Half-Life is, I know the stories, I know the basis, from game theory, but never played it myself. I have Animal Crossing on GameCube, not New Horizon, because I don't have a Switch. Because the only Switch game I'm anticipating for is Shin Megami Tensei 5, baby. Ghost of Shishimi? Shushishi? I don't freaking care. Well, I know it's not based off of anything that I've heard, but it looks cool and I might pick it up, Might. Not always a guarantee, because just because it's a brand new game and anticipated by everyone doesn't mean it's always a good one. Fighter Z? Yeah, it looked great. It acted great, but it wasn't my thing. I regret paying $50 for a game that eventually just cost me $10 now. Like, that was a waste of money. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I've actually been wanting to play the first three games. I think this is the fourth one, and I actually really want to play this. So yes, I do. Doom Eternal already came out, so I have to talk about that. Halo Infinite. I've only played. What was the one we played? We played a LAN party one, and it was actually really fun. I think it was Halo 3. It was so much fun. I can see why people love the game, but not as... I know people say it's a good game, but not as good as like Reach or other ones from the past, Resident Evil 3 Remake, I'm pretty sure that came out. Nihon 2, don't know about that one. Psychonauts 2, I don't know anything about, but Gods and Monsters. Ooh! Hell yeah. Yeah. I want to play that game. Like, I love monsters and the gods, and if they had Godzilla for a little, that would be actually pretty cool if they added a Godzilla-like monster into the... Being that it's gods and monsters, who else is better than Godzilla? The god of the monsters. Oh, hail the king. Add roar, future me. Or I'm just gonna sound like a moron. Actually, hey, that would be pretty cool if I remember to edit that in. Watch Dogs Legion. Not a new game, or is it? I don't know. Watch Dogs, interesting, but not good. I never thought... I never got into it. From the beginning, I was like, cool concept, but 90-degree train turns? I was like, what freaking world do you live in? One without physics? I was like, that won't work? Like, who's the dumbest that freaking programmed that? I mean, I was going to say something, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut for that one. But, Watch Dogs Legion. Nah, I don't really care. I mean... When Watch Dogs, I could have picked up Watch Dogs for $5. I didn't. I threw that one to the back. I was like, no, I'd rather play some shitty ass game than play that one. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing it. It seems interesting, seems cool, but I'm not gonna buy it at full price. I know, because if I do, I'm going to regret it later on, because just because the game looks amazing and people are hyped about it doesn't mean it's always a good game, Does anyone remember the failure of Fallout 76? And do not say, oh, it's a great game now. It's like, I bought it because I was going to play with others, and no one else got back on. No one came back on to play the game with me. I literally was doing a mission got into the final part and it crashed the game. I'm like, well, this freaking sucks. And then I was swarmed by monsters all over the place. I was like, 76, more like shitty 6. Shitty sticks, yeah. I don't know. What was I supposed to say with that joke? And then No Man's Sky, do not say, oh, No Man's Sky is good now. I was like, no, No Man's Sky still sucks. No man buys. Because I'm still not going to buy it. I still regret the freaking pre-order. And guess what? I pre-ordered it for Steam. $60 as well. Guess what happened? Now that I went back, a few months later, a few updates came back, creative and all this, having fun, exploring. My ship was completely gone. I got the fastest ship that was in the game so far. My pre-order ship, it was just gone. It was disappeared. And I still don't get my damn money back. How the frick do you think I'm gonna feel about a game like that? It's like you anticipate, you make it overhyped, and you add all these things that make it awesome in the future, A few years later, people want it now. It's like Pokemon Go. Yeah, I was hyped and I was like, well, I got bored. Literally, I don't even use the phone anymore. My brother has it actually. I don't use it. I got bored. It's just, it's fun now. It's like, fun now, not back then. You should caught me back then and not now. You know what I'm talking about? A good game is made well and released. A bad game is released and broken. Does anyone remember Destiny? Huh? Or, Star Wars. That freaking sucked. You're gonna pay that ka-ching for zim zing zing? It's like, no, I'm not gonna pay that much for just freaking space wizards with light up sticks. It's like, what do you think I am, a freaking dumbass? No, I'm not gonna pay that much for that. It's like, that was a waste of money too. Marvel's Avengers. I'll probably pick it up. Probably not for full price, just in case it sucks, or it's not a thing I'm into, being that I'm not into. I was into fighting games. I played Raging Blast 2. I played Ultimate Tenkaichi. Was it that one? Yeah, the custom character before Xenoverse. I played a few fighting games, but Fighter Z wasn't my thing. I didn't like it. People like it, people don't like it. I get bored. If I'm gonna play a fighting game, I'd rather play Smash, to tell you the truth, because even though I'm not good at Smash and I really don't like playing Smash, I might as well just goof off playing Smash and just start spamming buttons. And my character would be doing something stupid across the stage and be like, whacking their sword somewhere all around and then just flying off. That's funny. And that, I can start spamming and then just do something dumb and get insta-killed by someone that takes the game way too seriously. Being that everyone who plays fighting games. But, some of these games are actually something I'm into. Or something that caught my eye and I like the style. Like Gods and Monsters reminded me of Rhyme, Journey, and a few other games I've played in the past. So I kind of enjoy it. If they actually take their time and do it well, I'll buy it. I'll wait a little because I don't think I'm going to buy it for full price. Of course, a main game like that one from a studio, it's probably not going to go up in price, like skyrocket, mostly because, so I accidentally paused this recording and then accepted the finalization without even knowing. So, now that we're in this part, I guess, I've already talked about the games that are coming out, the most anticipated ones. Some of them I've never heard of, but, there's only a few games I'm interested in, and some games I'm not gonna put in a pedestal, not again anyways. But now I want to talk about the future of games. Now, people are making consoles, stronger and stronger consoles. At any rate, at any point, they're going to start making PCs at that point. They're not going to no longer make consoles. Of course, now at that point, when that time comes, it's going to be, so which PC master race are you? Are you PlayStation, Xbox, or just a typical PC? And then, of course, the Switch is still going to, Nintendo's still going to be a console, I bet, at that time. They're innovative. They're out there. They think smart. They don't think too hard. They think what they want for their players, what they want to make them happy for. Something that's gonna make the happy family and not break the family. You know, like I don't know, $60 for damn internet. $20 is actually reasonable. You know, maybe if you took some tips from me, you would be making ka-ching ka-ching and not fuck you. You know, but hey, if you're not that smart, I guess you didn't. I don't know where I was going with that, but whatever. You know, future of gaming is eventually not even going to be a console. It's just probably going to end up like the anime SAO. We're going to dive in. It's going to be all VR. Or if anyone's seen Gundam, the Gundam Build Fighter, newest series, Gundam Build Fighters Re-Rise, was it? Re-Rise? I've actually been watching it. It's actually, I mean, Build Fighters has been great. All the seasons I've enjoyed. Of course, the dubbing wasn't that good, but the intros were amazing. Hey, they were good. I mean, I didn't always like some of the characters, but it was decent. But in their world, Gundam is the biggest thing. Collectibles changing. They evolved their making for Gunpla to something that they could use for gaming. You know, and that's what I thought. I was like, that's innovation. That is thinking outside the box. That's actually being smart. You know what I'm saying? It's Toy Story 3.0. Like, literally. But without the talking weird toys, you know? The ones that no one ever liked. Sling M looking at you. But, or that weird muscular dude that no one ever remembers. It's like, who remembers that guy? It's like, I do. It's like, no one loves you. Stay away. It's like, okay. But, okay. So, in that show, in Gunpla, in the Gundam series, they make Gunpla with a now infused particle inside the Gunpla with a frame. I think it starts with a frame that is infused with a new particle that allows it to move, and eventually they add it to all the things, you know, the weapons, the armors, and all the little pieces of your Gunpla to make it move. Eventually, that's in the future, I think. I don't remember. It's been forever since I watched it. So if I got some things wrong, it's like, when did it come out? Like a few years ago? It's like, what do you expect me to remember all that? It's like, I can barely remember what I ate this morning. Actually, I do remember this time. It was actually cereal. Actually, was it cereal? I don't know. It was like, but whatever. But they create them and they go into tournament, a little table that you place your Gunpla on, and they activate a particle field, and they're able to move their Gunpla as they're the pilots. Like as you see in the show, you know, they control everything with their hands, their movements, their weapons, their selections, and everything. It's amazing how they do it. And you're thinking like, that's amazing. That's out of this world. And then it goes even further. When they change that and replicate it to something else, and they move away, but they innovate. They changed it to an online virtual reality. And the thing is, your customs are available to play. So you don't have to be typical, like other typical games, that it has to be official. You can't be using off-brands like in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to be using official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tokens and not custom ones, if I remember. Something like that. I forgot who did that, or I forgot. But in this game, if you make a custom, you don't always have to make the main character, unless you're going off the main character of the show. You're basing off your Gunpla off of. In this one, you can be whatever you want. You create your own character. You choose your own species. You choose what you want and what you want to play as. You can make the Gunpla you wish to have if you ever were a main character in a Gundam show. And that's what I love. And they actually use stations all around the world where it's just a helmet and you go into the game. You know, you dive in and you leave everything behind. And you have a pretty cool access key, and then you leave your Gunpla into a stand, and it scans it in, and it scans into the game. And it's really awesome how they innovated, how they thought outside the box. Eventually, they did release a game like that. I downloaded it. It never loaded up for me, so I never actually tried it. But I think it works like same way like that. I think. Don't quote me on that because I do not remember. I never got to load up the game. It never worked for me, so I can't really say how it was. But that was pretty cool. So imagine, like I talked about in the first episode, the Hollow. In the Hollow, they erase your memories and you think you're inside the game. You're in the game. You live in the game. You're part of the game. Imagine if they did that. Imagine your favorite story. Let's say Pokemon, easiest one, most popular one, or Mario. You put in your dive gear, and you just turn it on. They erases your memory. Of course, it doesn't. It erases the memory that is going to be digitized into the character you're going to be playing as. Not like, oh, it just wipes your mind, and then once you wake up, it's just like, well, frick, who am I? How do I breathe? Like, no, it's not like that. I mean, if it was like that, it was like, oh, whoops, I screwed up the numbers. But in this, it's like this. So what was I gonna say? So let's say you go into a game and you're red, and you're acting like red, but this time you don't have to go the way they show you. You know, like you don't just. It's you playing. You can do what you want. You're the character in the game. You choose the way you want to go. Of course, you want to go through the forest instead of following the path, go through the forest. You can't jump because the game tells you to? Well, guess what? This kid learned how to jump in 2019. So like, I'm gonna jump. Wrong year. It's 2020. I learned to jump in 2020. But, you know, you act the way you want to act in the game. There's no, of course, you still have to beat the game like normally. You know, you train, you fight, you get gym badges. But now it's an actual living world, and you get to experience it. And once you wake up, you think you have those memories in you. So let's say if you learned a new lesson like death in the game, and it was actually really tragic in the game, and once you wake up, you have that experience. It makes you grow as a person. That would be amazing. That would innovate gaming. And who knows if someone is actually building that, then props for them. I want to be one of the first. It's like, hey, you mind? It's like the games I would love to play as a main character. First of all, Gundam Dynasty Warriors on 360. It's like, I love that Gundam game, and it was a crossover. It was pretty awesome. Mario Kart Double Dash, that would be XD or Gale of Darkness. Particularly, I would love to play Soul Silver because my bro Totodile is in the game, best Pokemon ever. And then my waifu Cynthia in Platinum. And then who else? The actual game I would love to play, Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse. I would love to be the main character in that one. Even though it's kind of dark, I die, get reincarnated, become a god. It would just be really cool. I don't know. I don't think most people would enjoy that, or just enjoy going to a hellish world in general. I like how many people are actually gonna love going into Resident Evil. You know, it's like not many people are gonna agree to that. But if you got the skills, you got the fights, then you got the skills. So if that actually happened, imagine how much gaming would change. Technically, if Microsoft and PlayStation would come together, not come together as a company, but come together with technology and actually innovate it, with all three, with the biggest game companies would come together to innovate something this big, technically they would be making profits here, there. It would become the most like, you have a company making the games. Of course, who doesn't like Mario? I mean, I don't really like all the Mario games. I mean, Mario Party 5 is my favorite. Party 7 or 6, that one was good. And and then Double Dash, and then there's other great games out there, of course, but and then indie games like Journey, SteamWorld Dig, Star Ocean, Horizon Zero. I mean, they would have to change the gender, and also because I don't know how that would work. Not because Aloy is any bad of a character. No, it's just imagine how you would think coming out after being a female character. Like, would that screw up your thinking? Some side effects. Would you start looking into the other gender, being that you were female attracted to a male, or and being that your memory was erased? It's like, you don't want those kind of issues, right? But I would love to play that one. That world would be amazing to play. Seeing the Thunderjaw, seeing the Thunderbird, seeing those enemies, headshot them with the bow and everything. I would pretty much die in the first stage. I think I would die. Been like, jump off this cliff, alright. Oh shoot, I forgot the hook. It's like, I wake up, I was like, did I fall off the cliff? You fell off the cliff. I was like, frickin'. That would be pretty funny. But I think we got something here. I doubt this would ever come out anytime soon. Who knows what the side effects would be if you lost connection with internet. Like, freaking, you get stuck in the game, or you lose consciousness, or like your mind is not into your body, but you're still alive somehow. It's like, you split yourself. Like, there's a physical version of you outside the world, and then there's you playing the game. But if they turn off the game, you die. It's like, what the frick is going on here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's major issues they would have to think, like, before this thing would become, And if they added chips to our heads, no, I would not accept that. Hello. I've seen the movies. I know what you can do with chips in your heads. You make people do bad stuff, and I'm not going to be one of the idiots. And ends up I'm one of the first idiots. I was like, well, that goes philosophy. But, yeah. And this topic actually came from Aaron Live, a streamer on Twitch, a YouTuber and stuff. He does Trainer TV, Aaron Live, and many other projects. And he's the one, I asked him, like, what kind of topic should I do today? And he gave me future games. And I was like, no, that could be pretty good. He actually responded when I was recording episode 3. So, I actually have another topic I want to talk about, and that's actually going to be next episode. But I think this was a pretty good topic, Like, thinking outside the box, thinking about the future of video games. Think about future games that are coming out, and that might be good, might be bad. And I think I did my part. And thank you all for listening to the Krabby Club podcast. And make sure to follow us on Anchor when it's officially released on. And then it gets spread to Sticker, Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, and some other websites that I do not recall. But if you want to listen to the Krabby Club podcast right when it's released, make sure to follow us on Anchor. And that is it for now. Thank you all for listening to the Krabby Club podcast, and until next time. I talked way too much.